What is going on, and welcome back to the Director of Football Journeyman on Football Manager 2020 with the new club Deportivo Cali. We've only been at the club 4 days or something like that. It's not been that long. I'm kind of curious, how long have I actually been here? I've been here 1 day. Okay, never mind. We arrived yesterday. The first game is going to be against America de Cali, which is actually a rivalry game. It is historic rivalry. So it's going to be an interesting first game. They're also sitting just inside the playoffs, so they have something to play for. We don't really. 3 points for us will bring us up to possibly 15th. So we've not got a whole lot to play for, apart from just adding a bit extra to our total for the end of the season. This is how I've decided to line the team up for the first game. We don't have... so what I've noticed with this team is we don't really have right backs, but we have plenty of left backs. Centre backs are a bit iffy. Goalkeepers are okay. Centre midfield, kind of lacking. We have excessive amount of right wingers. We have, I think there's like 5 in the first team. We have Dioso, who is a right winger. When I came in, Sepulveda was being trained to be a right winger. I don't know why. Gavira is a right winger, as is Valencia and Friguero. So we have plenty of right wingers. Don't have an awful lot of left wingers, and we are seriously lacking in terms of striker. So Sepulveda is the only natural striker in the first team. As you can see, he has scored 1 goal total in the league this year. He scored 2 in all competitions. But top scorer Palacios is going to start alongside him. It's going to put Palacios as the complete forward because he can do it. According to this, his best role as striker is kind of the deep line forward or false 9. Maybe advance forward at a push. I'm just going to throw him in at the deep end, complete forward. He looks decent enough for everything. He's not the tallest player in the world, but I don't want to leave our goal scoring resting on our striker who's got 8 finishing. So we're training him. I thought we were training to be complete forward. I might actually just change that. Because he's that little bit taller, I want him to train to do it. I don't think he'll ever really get there, but nonetheless, we are going to start with Paez in goal, Oscar Milan at right back. Ortiz is going to play as our left back for this game. Angulo and Gutierrez in central midfield, our central defence. William Gonzalez, who was in the reserves, I think, when I joined, he is starting this game with Matteo Milan alongside him. Originally it was going to be Figueroa instead of William Gonzalez, but for some reason his condition dropped to 78, so he won't start this game. Dioso and Mina as our wide men, with Sepulveda and Palacios up front. Granados is the utility defender because he can play right back and left back. Not that well. He's only 18, so he could still improve, which I'm hoping he does. And we have Figueroa sitting on the bench. Gavira and Gonzalez, who is a 17-year-old attack midfielder who, just for shits and giggles, I'm teaching him to be a striker, even though he has 5 finishing. Anyway, we haven't yet, obviously, we haven't got any director of football in, so we haven't got any other staff in. There's no new signings. We have 2 players that are leaving. That was already set up before I arrived. but I've had a look at them. They're not the best players in the world. There's plenty of players in this team that we could definitely get rid of. Staff wise, we don't have the best staff. It's an interesting one coming from a Champions League winning team. I haven't set any of the stuff up yet. Coming from a Champions League team that were probably the best team in the world. After I spent a bit of time with them, getting them to win the Champions League, they've been dominating. We'll actually have a look at how Ghent have been getting on since we left. But it's what I wanted to do. It's interesting looking at the staff now, and nobody has above a 10 for any major attribute, which is not ideal when I'm used to looking at coaches with 15s and 16s and up to 20 for some stuff. We're not getting it here. We have just conceded 24 minutes in. Not going to lie, this is definitely not going the way I was hoping it would. I know we are attacking, but I'm not going to sit back. I'm hoping that the strikers come good. Unfortunately, nobody was at the side of the box that I would have wanted them to be. We have 70 days actually after this game until the next one, which is it's such a long break, and there's no explanation for why, because the transfer window doesn't open until the 3rd of July. So even, oh my god, 25, I think is that Gutierrez? Or was that someone else? Who's 25? Yeah, Gutierrez. Fantastic. The guy I put in because he was the older player, level head. I thought better off putting him in for our first game, hoping that playing a guy who's been there, done that in the Colombian division would make a difference. It hasn't. And Palacios puts his header just over. Oh, it's going to be one of those games. Okay, well, we've got a bit of something out of the players anyway. Left back Ortiz having a poor game, but strikers are struggling. And the right wing is definitely one position that our player on the right wing cannot have a poor game, because we have so many players that can play there. What was that positioning by the keeper? Why was the keeper so far away from everything? Right, we are going to lose our first game in charge, because I don't see us making a comeback from 3 down. I'm hoping the players don't go on holiday for those 2 months, because if they're gone from tomorrow until I don't even know, if they're gone for 70 days, we're in a little bit of trouble, I would say, if we don't have any player that is going to be here for trade. What position do you play? You're right back. You're definitely not a centre back. You're definitely not a centre back, yeah. So we're going to not do that. We're going to do this instead. Like I said, I don't really have a striker to bring on, so I might just swap you to deep line forward. Just put you on support. Mina's not having a great game. Again, don't have anyone we can really bring on for him because we don't have any left wingers. I might actually have to consider changing stuff. I don't know. Like, we've dominated shots. We've just been wasteful. We have a throw. Milan. We've actually scored a goal. Gabriel Mina gets his first. He's the right winger? Left winger. Oh, so close. So you're going to come off because you're dying. We're going to bring in Gavira. This has just been one of those games where it took us a little bit of time to get going. The players obviously don't know what I want them to do right now because, like I said, we literally just arrived yesterday. So losing 3-1, while not ideal, it's not the worst result we could have had, I suppose. I'm just going to go straight in. Give everybody fucking hell. Gutierrez, I want to see. Okay, no, so it's not putting him down as being at fault for that goal. I think he was, because he didn't really do anything. It took him a year and a half to turn when the defender or the striker got past him. I'm hoping that Sepulveda comes good, because I think there's a chance we gave him his debut. Interesting, I didn't know he hadn't played before. I think that why am I doing this? No. Delegate. I think that he could, in theory, be a really good striker, but I think he's probably more of a support striker rather than the main striker. And as it stands right now, we don't have a main striker. So we're asking an 18-year-old Colombian who has not really done it this year to step up and do it. So hopefully he can come good. Wage-wise, we're not actually spending that much money on anybody. We did have a couple of players that were suspended for that last game. We had a couple of injuries as well to relatively important players. Can't wait for Mosquera to come back, because he actually has finishing. So there's a possibility that he could be a leading striker for us. He is the 4th best striker in the club, and he's only 16. Not great, but he could still do it. He's going to be out for just over a month by the looks of it. So, Balanta. I think I'm going to try and get rid of him, maybe? I don't know. I haven't decided yet who I'm going to transfer list. But I'm going to wait for the director of football to arrive before I do any of that anyway. Because there's no point in me putting people on the transfer list if I can't accept or reject any offers for them. Because it's not my job. Ghent, however, are champions again. As you do. Absolutely dominated the league. Dominated the league. Wow. Top scorer. No Ghent players. Dodora 2nd. Dodora's only in 2nd. He's having a poor 16 assists. It's not doing that bad, actually. He has most player of the matches as well. Baldoff has 19 clean sheets. So they must have given him a new contract. Nope. 12 million foreign release clause. I'm surprised nobody's taken them up on it, because he's played for Argentina again. They have Vincenzo Montella in charge. They did get their youth and training facilities upgraded. Diallo got removed from Legends when he left for Liverpool. Yeah. And he's actually been playing for Liverpool, so fair enough. Can't argue with that. They did make some interesting transfers in January. I was keeping an eye on them, because I think they were still looking for staff or a manager at the time. So it popped up and I was curious. I said, I'll have a look. Mori Conte went to Vitória de Guimarães on loan. Noel Kone has gone to Osasuna for 6.5 million, and Mitkov went for 28 million only. That's an absolute bargain for PSG. 28 million. It's insanity. they picked up Mikov for so cheap. The guy won the Champions League, and they're like, 28 million, we'll take him. They've actually spent 2 million more than they brought in. Montella has got a bit mental. What is this formation? The Ryzen started the last game. They have a Swiss, he's Norwegian. He looked quite good in one game that he played up front. Not really been doing it. I didn't realise he was a central midfielder. But yeah, they've been playing Pierre Cognier up front for a good bit this season. He's been banging him in. I knew he was going to come good. I just didn't realise he was going to come good. I wouldn't have played him this season, I don't think. So, fair play to him. Putting players in that I didn't think were worth starting. Where's DoF? Where's that? 49 appearances this year. Who's played the most? Because last year it was Nuno Leo. DoF, Dodora and Nuno Leo. All playing the most games. Fair enough. As you might remember, Rodriguez does not like me. And he's gone off to somewhere else. Red Bull Salzburg. Been pretty good. He started 4 games and scored 4 goals for Ghent. Didn't do anything like that last year for me. But in Salzburg, he's done decent. I suppose you could say. He's done well. I'm very surprised Carnevale has had such a poor season. It's not really been given a whole lot of opportunities, to be fair. 13 starts in the league. 17 starts in total. Scored 16 goals though. So I think they should really be playing him. Anyway, next episode we will be back for Atletico Julia, I suppose. I'm going to spend a bunch of time playing the in-between bits. And when I say playing the in-between bits, I mean pressing continue until people start playing for jobs. Hopefully we can recover in the second phase, because doing this poorly in the first phase, not great at all. Not gonna lie, really want to be top 8. I think that's expected of us. Anyway, if you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. If you have anything you can think of that might help me in my endeavours, do leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to read it, respond to it. Why not? We'll leave a comment and see what happens. Thank you very much for watching, fellas, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!